Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Dan from the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel, and I am here to talk to you guys all about Monday Night Raw. That's right, guys. I am here to lay the SmackDan on everything that went on the red brand. So, as you can see, this episode was all about the women. Who would have thought a WWE have a great women's division? They just need to use them a bit more. You know, and it's probably going to be the first time that I'm not going to totally be like, oh, this episode of Raw was terrible, because it wasn't. It was a decent episode of Raw. So, as I've already mentioned, this was women this episode. So we kick off much like we finished last week, obviously, with the whole Shayna, Baszler and Lily thing. We started out with Alexa Bliss in Alexa's playground, and her guest, well, I say guest, she was essentially cutting a promo about last week. And then Nia Jax comes in. The two talk a little bit. And then it gets announced that on Sunday, Alexa Bliss will take on Shayna Baszler at Hell in a Cell. So, yes, what do I think about this? So, Shayna Baszler taking on Alexa Bliss. Well, obviously, I'm going to give my thoughts on that on the pre-show that we're going to do for Hell in a Cell, so check that out. We'll be live with that on Sunday at 9 p.m. I'll give my final thoughts and predictions on that match. I'm not going to reveal who I think's going to win that one just yet, but what I'm going to say is I just feel as though it's going to be a bit strange, this one. You know, I don't think it's going to be like your regular match. But yeah, I think, you know, I didn't really see this leading to a match at Hell in a Cell, if I'm honest. You know, I thought maybe they'd do a few little bits on Raw and then it'd lead to something else. But yeah, it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, then speaking of Hell in a Cell, obviously we know the Raw Women's Championship is going to be defended at Hell in a Cell between Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. And unless you have been living under a rock for the last few weeks, you will have known that Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley have been going backwards and forwards, taking on Nikki Cross. They both basically hold victories over Nikki Cross. But in this one, Nikki got the victory over Charlotte via countout. Ripley then comes in, takes Charlotte out, and stands tall at the end over the Queen. So, yeah, the interesting thing, though, with this one, so the count out occurred here when Nikki gets thrown out of the ring. And Charlotte, essentially, I think she does like a gorilla press and throws her behind her. And yeah, Nikki manages to get in the ring, but Rhea's sitting at ringside and she distracts Charlotte. And distracts Charlotte enough so that she couldn't answer the 10 count. And so this led a bit later on in the night, so I'm skipping forward a bit here. I'm not going through it, you know, play by play sort of thing. But then it led obviously to a match with Rhea Ripley, and she was taking on Asuka. Again, you know, a good combination of these two. And it led to the opposite happening. So Charlotte Flair coming out. Rhea won this one actually, with the Riptide. But yeah, then Charlotte comes out, attacks Rhea. They have to be separated. And Charlotte ends up with a bit of a bloodied nose. Obviously, no news on if it's like a broken nose or whether it's just a little bit of claret just coming from the nose of the Queen. But yeah, it's looking like it's going to be a decent match leading into their Hell in a Cell match. Oh, sorry, their match at Hell in a Cell. It's not confirmed. Strangely, so this match has got more women's matches on it so far, Hell in a Cell. There's 3 announced women's matches, 2 announced men's matches. Both the men's ones so far are inside the cell. Both the women's are not. All 3 of the women's, are not. But yeah, read into it what you will. But Then we get the long-awaited debut, or return of Eva Marie. It was announced that Eva Marie was coming to Raw this week, and she was going to be taking on Naomi. But did she take on Naomi? Well, she herself didn't take on Naomi. Instead, a representative took on Naomi. That's right. As I mentioned on the show last week, Eva Marie was not alone. She was indeed flanked by NXT UK's Piper Niven. Not just NXT UK's own Piper Niven, but Britain's Piper Niven. Another Scottish athlete on the main roster to go alongside Drew McIntyre and Nikki Cross. Fantastic, fantastic opportunity for Piper. I wish her all the best. And she looked in incredible form here. So, my gripe with this, Piper Niven has been doing some fantastic stuff over on NXT UK. But the commentary team are making out like they've never even seen her. She works for your company. Just switch the telly on a Tuesday night or whenever the show is. Switch the telly on. Watch the show before you bring somebody up. There's talk that she could be getting a different ring name, but she's in your company. You should know who she is. It's obvious that they've got no idea about what's happening down in NXT UK. But she did take on Naomi. She did defeat Naomi. After the match, it was Eva Marie that declared herself the winner, as her and Piper obviously celebrated that victory. So, yeah, just going to have a quick... We don't want a repeat of what happened on the NXT. We don't want a repeat of what happened on the Takeover in Your House review. Obviously, coughing and spluttering my guts up on that one. But anyway. So we then led into a backstage segment. So Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke are having a photo shoot, but then all you can hear like two people seemingly like running about in the ring. So obviously they're doing it at one end of the room. There's a practice ring at the other end, but camera pans over to it, and it's Natty and Tamina. So they're in the ring, and Mandy and Dana essentially ask them to keep the noise down a bit while they have their photo shoot, but Natalya bites back at them, and she's like, look, if you guys gave half of the effort to your in-ring work as you do your looks, then you might be champions by now. And doors definitely were not opened for you on your ring abilities, that's for sure. To which Mandy and Dana just burned them with a reply of, well, if you two didn't have the surnames that you have, those doors would have been slammed right in your faces. But yeah, bit of a burn there, but yeah, interesting to see what's going to happen here. Are they going to lead maybe to a match potentially at Hell in a Cell, another women's match? Be interesting. I think it's like they're trying to get all the women on before the crowds come back, but yeah, be interesting to see where they go from here. So then, obviously, following on from what happened earlier in the night with Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax, it led into a match between the two of them. So obviously, Alexa and Jax, former tag partners together. So yeah, they went one-on-one, and strangely, like, this one was won by disqualification, and it occurred when Alexa hits Twisted Bliss. The referee gets a 2 count, and then Reginald jumps in to break it up. And then it was a bit strange. So he pulls Bliss off, and then Alexa Bliss does this weird thing where she just stares at him, and Reginald is like transfixed on her. And like she's moving her head from side to side. Reginald's doing the same thing. Kind of like she was like hypnotizing him. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what they are actually trying to do here. Very, very, very weird. In another of the advertised matches, we get Randy Orton and Riddle taking on the New Day. The team of RK Bro defeated the New Day with an RKO. That's right, the correct person using their correct finisher on this show for a nice change. But yeah, I think it was a decent enough match. I'd like to see these two go again. I would have said maybe a number one contenders match for the tag titles, but we're going to get into what's going on with them in a moment. So, yeah, as I say, so all the women's stuff went on during the show. Seemingly the first two and a bit hours were practically dedicated to the women's stuff, apart from a few little bits sprinkled in here and there. But I was surprised that they didn't have something from the women main event this show. But the main event they did choose was the other announced match, which was AJ Styles taking on Drew McIntyre. Now, I like this match. I like the thought of it. They went backwards and forwards. It was a decent match. Bobby Lashley is watching on from the ramp. Now, bear in mind, Bobby Lashley is in his suit. He comes down to the ring to get involved in this match. He's still in his suit when Drew McIntyre attacks him. So then the Viking Raiders come down to make the save. They come out to help. And then this match gets turned into a 6-man tag team match, which pitted the Viking Raiders and Drew McIntyre taking on Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles, and Omos. Now, this combination worked well. Obviously, the Viking Raiders, it makes sense. The Viking Raiders are the number one contenders to the tag team titles. So it's not like they're just having a random tag team come out. So storyline-wise, it makes perfect sense. And I really did like it, and they teased that, Omos was going to get a victory over McIntyre. Didn't come to fruition. Instead, the finish to the match came when AJ Styles is crawling over to the corner. He looks like he's about to tag in Omos. Just couldn't reach. Instead, he just seems to fall, slaps Lashley to tag him. Lashley is in the ring. He runs up. Drew McIntyre runs in. Boom. Claymore. 1, 2, 3. Drew McIntyre celebrates a victory over Bobby Lashley, who is now in his gear when he was in his suit not 10 minutes previously. So Drew gets the all-important pinfall, heading in to their big match inside Hell in a Cell. So, what did I think of Raw? Well, it was a very, very good show, I think. I liked the fact that they were showcasing the women. Obviously, they can't do that on SmackDown because they've only got bloody 7 of them. But it shows if you give the women a chance, they're going to do great things. Just let them have matches. Let them go out there and do what they are paid to do. And that is wrestle. Because you have some incredibly talented women on your roster. And I know there's been a lot of talk about doing women's only pay-per-views. Oh, yeah, we did Evolution. Yeah, we've not done enough. Look at how many pay-per-views you've had over the years that have been men, and one women's match sprinkled in. Why not have an all-women's pay-per-view with maybe one man's match sprinkled in there? And no, I don't mean put the men's match as the main event. Have that as your filler match sort of thing, how you used to treat the women. But overall, as I say, this was quite a decent episode of Raw. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see where they go now next week. Obviously, we know that we've got Hell in a Cell coming up on Sunday, and then obviously with the Raw after that. But yeah, as I say, it was a huge night. It was a good night for the women. And there's also going to be some big stuff going down tomorrow on NXT. William Regal has a huge announcement to make. Now, there is heavy speculation that this is the return of Samoa Joe. Now, apparently Triple H has re-signed Joe to a contract now, and that he is going to be appearing exclusively on the NXT brand. The talk is that Joe is going to be an authority figure of some kind over on that brand, but you're going to have to wait to find out on Lay The SmackDan tomorrow on the NXT side of things, when I will give you guys more information as to exactly what is going on there. But that is everything from Monday Night Raw. Thank you guys all for tuning in. It's been a good episode of Raw to review. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. Leave some comments in the comment section down below. Thanks a lot, guys. I will see you all soon. Take care. Bye for now.